Good morning, Roger Hill at Wuthering Heights. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. We have our storm in progress, and the area of low pressure is located kind of southwest of Binghamton. This is going to be taking a track, and if across the Adirondacks, maybe a little bit of a northwest corner of Vermont, maybe the Champlain Valley, we'll see the lowest pressure falls generally in this particular area, but it's kind of a stretch, elongated area of low pressure anyway. So it's going to be moving on through, but we're seeing pretty good winds whipping across perpendicular to the southern and central and northern Green Mountains. Also, just getting into the act now across the presidential range of the White Mountains, and that's going to cast some downsloping winds into the Northeast Kingdom and also produce snow shadows. And you can see some of those snow shadows here as some pretty good meso-scale banding has now moved north. And this is more or less coming in sort of waves. And the area of low pressure being back here, it's going to form yet another wave that's going to translate north and eastward. But the strongest winds, I believe, have already maxed out in the morning hours. Last probably hour, it's about 9 o'clock this morning now. And this is starting to shift northward into the central areas and then eventually again interacting with the White Mountains here over the course of the next few hours. Once we get toward noon, I think most of the, if not the whole wind situation is going to be over with. We will still see a little bit of a lull, but the area of low pressure will be tracking kind of across northwestern Vermont and so forth. Let's take a look at some of the latest computer modeling as well as some of the strongest wind gusts. This is Shrewsbury, Vermont, and maximum wind gusts have exceeded 50 miles per hour at Shrewsbury, but have most recently begun to fall off. They're still experiencing some pretty good winds there. Underhill, northern parts of Vermont, we've already saw an earlier gust around 47, 48. Over at Searsburg, the winds have maxed out and reached 45, and the winds are on the process of starting to cruise downward. And this is Mendon Mountain, and what you can see is the winds have maxed out almost 55, 53 miles an hour and started to come down, but I still think we're going to be seeing some strong gusts here. This is the Bennington AOT station. We had a wind gust 70 miles an hour. The winds have maxed out, I believe, and are now beginning to be further to the north. So areas in the far southern parts of Vermont are starting to see running a corner now and beginning to see those winds begin to ramp down. Looking at the next station here, this is Top Mount Mansfield. You can see where we are here. Let me see if I can update that. I'm looking at about 92, 93 miles an hour. And so the strongest wind gusts, generally where we thought they'd be along the western slopes of the Green Mountains. This is carried over a little bit into northern Vermont. Central and southern Vermont, the main target area, and you can see where these strongest winds have occurred. Also, the White Mountains, of course, and these are starting to show up very nicely. Just starting to see some winds even ramp up to 40 miles per hour toward the Connecticut lakes. This is a live version of Stratton Mountain Summit, and you can see they are skiing, so the wind hold has been released, but earlier there was near blizzard conditions, and it looks like things are starting to improve in some of our southern Vermont ski resorts. Looking at the NAM model, this is the latest 12Z, so this is the way the projections are. That area of low pressure tracking a little bit north of Binghamton, New York, and this is valid at about 11 o'clock this morning. That would be noon, and you're starting to see the maximum snowfall work to the north and east and the last meso-scale banding there. And then you're seeing a bit of a lull begin to work in, and certainly this is valid by 19Z, so that'd be 2 o'clock this afternoon. This is 3, 4, 5. And then the snow will return after that as we start to see the wraparound begin to kick in. But it's mainly going to be along the summits of the Greens and points west as we're going to have a blocking barrier situation, 980 low. And this is valid by 7 o'clock in the evening. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. That's midnight tonight. That's 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So this is valid at 9 o'clock. This is the HRRR model, high resolution rapid refresh. And what you can see here is the winds advancing, interacting with the highest terrain, and then beginning to decrease. This is 17Z new, and the last of the winds are going to be pushing away. So the wind issues are going to be gone here in another 2, 3, 4 hours. And this sub-alert will expire with that, as that's the main concern. And the heavy snow loading issues also rotating north and out of the region. Focusing in on the state of Vermont, this is our snow. You can see some of the snow totals being reported here, 7 inches so far. And the heaviest snow bands are working its way north. We probably have one more meso-scale band of heavy snow, moderate to heavy snow, that's going to be pushing in and then tracking more into New Hampshire as it pulls away. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, thanks for watching.